So ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the channel. In today's video, we're going to be breaking down the absolute easiest business model I've ever found on the entire internet that will allow you to go from 0 to 10K per month in the simplest, easiest way I've genuinely found, as I've just said. That's nothing to do with SMA or anything like that. I'm actually going to be breaking this down because it can actually work for your agency if you're running any sort of agency. It can also work if you're trying to sell some sort of online products. Now, without any further ado, I want to jump into this straight away because I've got a lot of stuff to share with you on my screen. So let's talk about actually scaling yourself to 10K per month, right? Whilst working less than 10 hours per week. This is the big distinction as well, guys. I found that this business model that I'm actually going to break down to you guys right here is the best business model for scaling past 10K per month. It's the least saturated business model. It's also so future-proof that recessions can't touch it and AI can't touch it. I've noticed that a lot of businesses now these days, like SMA, for example, I'm not saying it's oversaturated. It's just that a lot of people are trying to get in the traditional way of doing an agency, which is just doing cold outreach. We've all known that doing cold outreach does work, but it's just that you have to put a lot of numbers into it for it to work, and it has to be quality as well. With a business model like this, because it's your own name, your own experiences, your own journey, your own personality that shines through, it's gonna help you build up a brand. Now, I've always said this to people, but look, if you take a look at like water bottles, right? Like bottled water for sale. What have you noticed difference between the different bottles of water? How do they get sales? It's because they all have a brand behind them. All it is bottled water. They do the exact same shit. It's just water in a plastic bottle. It's the branding behind it that allows you to, distinguish between which brand you should go with. For example, Fiji water, some people might be feeling bougie and get like, Fiji water and whatnot. And some people might like Volvic water, if you guys know what that is. Anyway, guys, let's actually talk about this business model just real quick. So this, guys, right here is the simplest way I've ever seen anybody make 10K per month from their agency / personal brand by building up their own name and turning their name into a business. Now, this sheet that I'm actually going to be breaking down here, guys, that you can see on my screen, is going to be available in my brand new Discord kind of like server. So if you haven't joined the Discord server, I don't know what you guys are doing. I'll leave the link below for this particular sheet so you can actually have this sheet for completely free. And there's going to be some free trainings coming soon in the server as well. I'm actually releasing a brand new free training. It's on my desktop somewhere in the background of this. Anyway, let's establish a fact real quick, guys. A personal brand is the simplest business model to make 10K per month net profit whilst keeping 95% in like actual profit margins whilst working less than 10 hours per week. Let me give you an example, guys. I'm just gonna give you a quick rapid fire example. Let's say you're selling some sort of group coaching program, right? And I'll explain all this in a second, how you even get to that stage and what this group coaching program would entail and how you come up with your own program and what to do if you're not an expert and if you can't sell a program, blah blah blah. I'm gonna break all this down, so to stay with me throughout this video. So I'm just gonna give you a quick example. Eventually what you're gonna want to do is start leveraging business models like this, where for example you're working with 6 clients and they've each paid you 2K each for like a 6-week program or even a 6-month program, whatever it is. It doesn't even matter the time frame as long as you're getting somebody a transformation. That's what I've noticed as well when it comes to offering like programs, just making money from your personal brand or even your agency, by the way, because again, like I said, a personal brand can help your agency because a personal brand, all it is building your name into a brand and being known for a certain thing. For example, Iman Gaji, he's known for starting SMA. Look at Alex Hormozi, he's known for acquiring businesses, just business in general, like genuinely good business knowledge. If you look at Robert Kiyosaki, he's known for selling books and talking about Rich Dad Poor Dad. He's known for that. So it's about how you build up your brand over time online. So let's pretend that you've got 6 clients at 2K each. I just want to show you the mathematics behind this, right? If you've got 6 clients and they're each paying you 2K each, that's already 12K right there in a single month. Here's the kicker though. What you can actually do is do 3 hours of service delivery per week. That could literally be one group call with all 6 people. So there's going to be you and 6 other people. So that's 7 people on a Zoom call, right? And these are your clients, aka your students. And all you would need to do for service delivery is jump on one single call for 3 hours per week, right? Every single week for 6 weeks straight or even 8 weeks straight. Normally a good program lasts anywhere between maybe 4 to 8 weeks. Sometimes it can go on to like 12 weeks, that sort of stuff. But if you're doing like a 12-week program, obviously you're going to charge more. Or if you're just doing one-to-one stuff and you're not really confident enough to do like group coaching stuff, you just want to work with people one-to-one. And again, a lot of people do like the one-to-one style. What you could do is you could do 1 call per week with each of your 6 students individually, and that works out to be 6 hours of work per week. Guys, I don't think you understand what I'm trying to say here. Like, there's people out there that literally work 40 to 60 hours per week every single week, right? And they're only pulling in maybe 2.5k, 3k, 4k, probably at the max. Like, most of my friends over here in the UK, they're probably making around 3.5k British pounds, maybe even 4k British pounds, but they're working 40 to 60 hours, you know, to do that. Not only that, but they're working under a boss. They're at a job that they can actually lose anytime. We all know what job security was like when, you know, things actually hit the, you know, when shit actually hit the fan. Pretty much an illusion these days. And this you can actually do coaching people, or even just giving advice to people, or giving services to people that you're actually genuinely passionate about, guys. And you can do that from the comfort of your own home whilst drinking a friggin' tea or coffee, sat at your own desk on Zoom on 1 call with 6 people. That's just a quick example, guys. Now you're probably thinking, oh my days, Montel, how the hell do I even get into this? I'm not an expert. I don't have a coaching program. I'm not qualified to be coaching anybody or giving anything back. I have no skills. I have no experience. That's completely fine, guys. That's completely fine. We don't start here, obviously. I'm saying that this eventually, you know, 4, 5, 6 months down, you can get to this point probably within a 4 to 6 month kind of like period time frame. If you really focus on building out your personal brand, you can probably do it even a little bit quicker than that, to be honest with you. I had a student go from, he closed 3 clients at 2k each, we added on 6k per month in net revenue. And again, when it comes to coaching and selling services like this, because you don't need to outsource the work, and it's just you talking on like a Zoom call and actually giving your advice to people. And again, I know you're going to be thinking, I can't do this myself because I literally have 0 skills, expertise. I don't know enough. I'm not successful enough. I know exactly what you're thinking right now. And I'm going to break this down as to why you don't actually need to be that experienced. So let's actually break down what a personal brand is. A personal brand, or personal branding, is the process of defining and promoting what you stand for as an individual, basically online. So it's a way how you kind of want people to see you and what you talk about and what you're passionate about. I like to say it like this: your personal brand is a accumulation of experiences that you have, skills that you have, values that you have, that basically differentiate you. And this is why this can never be saturated. There are no 2 yous. There's never going to be another you. For example, I've got a coaching program and an online program that teaches people how to start their own agencies. So does Iman Gaji, and so do all these other dudes online. The difference is that I've got my own unique personality in that program. I'm my own unique person, and I have my own unique way of approaching the agency game, which is completely different for everybody else's. I have a framework called the hybrid system. If you guys don't know what that is, go back on my channel. I talk about it all the time, where it's, you know, you leverage a warmer traffic source, such as you know, a freelance website such as Upwork. Then you put that money into hiring virtual assistants or appointment setters. That's my own unique approach to solving a problem, which is taking somebody from 0 to 10k per month with their agency. And funnily enough, I just had another student hit 8.3k. I think it was actually 8k per month with their agency, so she's actually almost at 10k now. So shout out to you. I'll probably throw that on the screen somewhere. But yeah, simply put, your personal brand is your journey, your passions, your experiences and skills. That's basically your personal brand. So that's all your personal brand is just an accumulation of your journey, your passions, experiences, skills. That is your personal brand, guys. That's all it is. Now, even if you've got no experience, this is a good thing. I actually want, and I'm not even joking, if you've got no experience, you've got no skills, you've not sold anything before in your life, you can still build a personal brand. And here's the kicker: you can do this for completely free, guys. It doesn't cost any money to start. You can start with a friggin' iPhone 7. I started my personal brand with an iPhone 7. If you look back on my channel, I had 0 skills, absolutely 0 skills. Go back and watch my first video after you've watched this video. I'm not joking. So I don't really like it when a lot of people say, oh, I don't want, and this is a big excuse I keep hearing people say, they don't want to start a personal brand because they don't have experience. So they're going to wait till they have experience and then start a personal brand. I think it should be the complete opposite way around. You should start your personal brand whilst you have no experience and document yourself getting experience. So for example, let's say you're really passionate about video editing or short form content editing right now, right? What you would do is you would jump on camera, make your first video like 8 minutes long, just introducing yourself, saying that you want to start some sort of short form content agency or short form consulting agency, agency. And what you're going to do is you're going to start from the grassroots. You have zero experience and you're just using this channel to document your journey. And that's all it is. This is the thing as well, guys. And I need you to listen to this bit very, very carefully. This is going to be the differentiation from you picking up the camera and starting your personal brand and you not doing anything and regretting it 5 years later, 5 years down the line, or even 2 years down the line, or even 1 year down the line. You need to move your focus from trying to teach people stuff that you don't know. Forget teaching just now. Just start with documenting. Forget teaching and trying to be seen as an expert. Just be seen as somebody who's trying to get and build their expertise up, that's documenting their journey. So when it comes to personal brands, I've noticed that a lot of people will do this. They literally cannot start because they think that no one's going to listen to them because they're not experienced enough. So it almost feels like they're talking either wishy-washy or if they try to come across as more competent than they actually are and more confident than they actually are, or act as if they've got more expertise, then it comes across as kind of scammy, which is completely fine. You know, it actually technically is. But what I would recommend you do is not do that. Just document your journey and just be completely open and transparent with people that you're a beginner and you're learning Photoshop, or you're learning how to use these certain software, or this is what your plans are for the future. If you actually take a look at my first YouTube video, it's just me talking about why I dropped out of university and why I wanted to become an entrepreneur, even though I'm completely broken. I don't even know what the hell I'm doing. That was my first video. Imagine if I didn't start that first video. I don't even think you understand how many lives I've changed, guys, over the past like 5 years. Every single day, I wake up to at least 2 or 3 messages, probably even more than that, of people just saying, thank you so much for actually, you know, the content. I appreciate your content. It's helped me do this thing. I've even had people tell me that they've actually considered taking, you know, I'm not going to say the word, but they've actually, you know, they wanted to unalive themselves. I can't really say that on YouTube. And they've actually stopped that, you know, thing because of me and actually watching my videos, because it's actually give them hope for the future. I am not joking. It's happened multiple times. Actually happened more times than I'm comfortable revealing on camera, especially nuts, to be honest with you guys. So here are the 8 ingredients of a good personal brand. What I've noticed with good personal brands versus bad personal brands is these 8 ingredients. I call these the 8 ingredients of a good, profitable, just overall solid personal brand. Number 1 is documentation. You always start here. You start here. The reason for that is because you don't actually, you know, if you already are successful at a business, then obviously you can jump on camera and start talking about your success. If you're not, that's completely fine. And in fact, I actually think that works better. The reason why people like Iman Gaji, for example, have such a massive, loyal, almost cult-like following is because this guy documented his journey before he even knew what SMA was. If you go back onto Iman's channel, for example, go back onto my channel, you will see that I'm talking about different business models before I even was introduced to SMA. So you've seen me go from literally broke to being rich. And I keep saying this to people as well. Starting a personal brand while you're broke is probably the best thing you can do, not only for yourself because you can get to watch it down in the future, but for your kids, for your legacy, for all this other stuff. But I've also noticed it's like, imagine going to the movies, right? And you're continuously missing the first 80% of the movie and you only see the last 20% of the movie. You could probably still work out the 80% of the story that you've actually missed, but it's not the same, guys. Imagine you go and watch the new Avatar, for example, and you miss the first 80% of the movie. You're not really going to know what's going on in the last 20% of the movie. So starting a personal brand whilst you're already successful is kind of like getting people to watch your movie 80% of the way through the journey. Like, they've missed the first 80%. People actually want to see people go through that trial, tribulation, struggles, and then actually overcome those struggles sequentially to build something successful. I'm not joking. The amount of times I've had people come to me simply due to them being able to watch my journey from 5 years ago, struggling to where I'm at now, you know, hitting like, you know, record months of like 90, I think it was like 92 or 96K. I think it was 92, 94, 96. So we'll just call it 90K, hitting like 90K months and stuff like that, guys. The reason why people really love that is because they seen me when I literally was broke, talking in my first video, talking about how I have literally no money and I don't know what I'm doing, but I'm using this channel to document my journey. So always start with documentation. When you start documenting, right, your journey, you'll start dropping different videos, such as why I decided to become an entrepreneur, my journey so far, what you plan to do. You start dropping all these different videos. And the way you're going to get clarity, right, is obviously you start looking at your passions, what you're skilled at, what you're experienced at. And if you don't have any experiences or skills, I think that's BS, by the way. Everybody has experience and everybody has skills. I'll explain that in a second. But what I've noticed is that normally when you start with documentation, over time, because you're putting out videos, you can start looking at your numbers and seeing which videos are kind of getting the better traction. And then what you can do is that's going to start giving you clarity, because the market's telling you, well, if you put out 10 different videos and one of them did really well and the over 9 sucked, well, then you would make more videos like the one that actually did really well. It's very simple. It's almost like driving, it's trying to like steer a car that's not going forward. You have to make the car go forward a little bit first before you start learning how to steer the car. And what I mean by that is dry steering, when you're actually, picture yourself in a car right now. You're sat at a red light and you try to move the steering wheel. Now, power steering will obviously assist you, but it's still going to feel very heavy and very sluggish. However, even if your car's rolling like 5 miles an hour down the road, turning left and right feels so much more easier. It's the same thing with building out any sort of business, and especially a personal brand, and actually figuring out, what your niche is going to be. So clarity, always start with documentation first, and then what's going to happen is your niche is then going to start revealing itself to you. It's really weird how it does this. The market actually starts speaking back to you. You see the numbers of your videos, you see, hey, this video was more popular than the rest of the other videos that I've dropped, therefore I'm going to make more videos like this. There you go. That's how you can come about getting some clarity as well. Authenticity. You always want to remain authentic and transparent. If you're doing dodgy shit, you'll get called out straight away. This is why I love this game. If you're doing dodgy shit, you get called out straight away. So always remain authentic. Always remain transparent with your audience as well. Don't act bigger than you actually are. Don't, if you're not successful, tell people, look, I'm not successful. I'm struggling with this. And the funny thing is, the more vulnerable you are in your personal brand, the better it is. Now, don't make stories up like you was completely broke as a kid and you went through all these crazy trials and tribulations if you actually didn't. But if you did, put that into your story, because it's going to make it much more powerful. Now, when I say the word story, that doesn't mean make up a story. I'm just talking about your actual journey. Start talking about your actual journey. Maybe you struggled with some sort of drug addiction, or you wasn't in the right, mental space, or you had really bad habits. Maybe you went out too much, you partied too much, or you were too busy chasing girls, or whatever it was, or you had really bad anxiety. Like, that's something that I mention in my videos all the time. The more authentic you can be and transparent you can be and open you can be. I know it sounds weird and counterintuitive, because I know that you're probably scared of being judged on camera, which everybody is, which is why personal branding is one of the best business models to get into. If everybody's scared of doing it, you probably should go and do that thing. I hope that you guys, don't let that go over your head. But the more authentic you can be and more vulnerable you can be, the more connection you're going to build with your audience. Valuable as well. I actually recommend in your videos, give away the source. Give away the source. And then what's going to happen is, by the law of reciprocity, people are going to come to you and wanting to work with you. So make sure you're actually genuinely being valuable and actually giving out proper tips in your video, not just wishy-washy BS. And again, that comes from just doing the thing yourself. Like, if you learn how to do photo editing on Photoshop, then you can actually just be like, hey, look, here's a new little skill I learned on Photoshop this week to help build my business, and boom, you relate it back to your business, or whatever it is your personal brand's going to be based around. Again, a personal brand can be based around, pretty much health and wellness, fitness. That's pretty much the same thing. Relationships, business, finances, that sort of stuff. I've noticed that those are the best personal brands. Careers as well. That's pretty much finances though. Also transformation. You also want to offer some sort of transformation with your personal brand. There's kind of like 2 points to this transformation. There's like a front end and a back end. The front end is obviously throughout your personal brand, you want to be showing people that you're transforming you yourself are transforming over time. For example, if my journey was, I tried to start an agency and I didn't really transform or learn any skills over time, then nobody would really want to come to me to learn how to build an agency. You know what I'm trying to say? You actually have to have your own transformation. And then because you've shown your own transformation, you can then start helping people with that transformation you've made yourself. Or if you've already made a transformation, for example, let's say you were super overweight, or you had some sort of bad addiction to video games or weed or alcohol or whatever it is, and now you've been able to overcome that. And because of that, it's actually bettered your life in so many ways that you can't even count. Then you can offer that as a transformation back, but you've actually gone through the transformation yourself. So document your transformation and then offer that same transformation back to people. Goodwill as well. You actually need to have goodwill in your personal brand, aka you genuinely care about getting people results, genuinely care about helping people, and genuinely care about just giving value to people. You need to have goodwill. The amount of people that have come to me simply due to the law of reciprocity, where I literally just said it a second ago, where they've been able to see my journey, I've given them tips, for example, for completely free on my YouTube channel. They've used that, they've made money, and because they've made money from my YouTube channel for free, they've actually decided, you know what, I'm going to work with Montel, because if his YouTube channel is this good, imagine what's in his programs. So therefore, they've actually come to me and actually, just genuinely paid me just to be in kind of like close proximity to me. I've noticed that as well. Like people genuinely just want to be next to me. It sounds weird, but I've actually built up a strong personal brand now to the point where people will want to work with me simply because I am me. Not in an egotistical way, guys, but I hope you can understand that. Like when you put out so much good in the world, good will come back to you, is what I'd say. And community as well. You want to build up your community and build up your legacy. So obviously when you're building a personal brand, you want free groups, for example, like the Discord group. Definitely go and join my community right here. So you want a community where you can actually, talk back and forth with people, in your actual community, build up that connection as well. And you want to build a legacy with your personal brand. This is one of the best things you can do with a personal brand. Look at people like Tony Robbins. Tony Robbins, jinx touch wood, I don't want nothing bad to happen to Tony Robbins because he's actually changed my life. When Tony Robbins passes on into the next world, he will be around for years to come. His content will be on the internet for years to come. Look at people like Jim Rohn. Jim Rohn passed away. I can't remember when Jim Rohn passed away, but I can still remember certain sayings in my head right now from Jim Rohn that I used to listen to when I first got started all the way back in 2017, 18-ish. Now, just quickly rapid fire as we get through this. Here's a couple steps to creating a personal brand. What I want you guys to do is learn an actual skill. Like think about what you're passionate about and start learning a skill around that passion. Like if you've got no skills, this is where you would start. You need to learn a skill. Alex Hormozi actually said it the best, to be honest with you. I was watching a video from Alex Hormozi, and he was saying the reason why people don't put content out there and don't build a personal brand is because you haven't done enough cool shit. So just go and do some cool shit. Go and figure some cool shit out. Like go figure, like for example, like me, I went and figured out how to do the hybrid system thing. And I started doing cool shit by myself, testing it on myself whilst documenting it. That's the key. You become passionate about something. You figure out what you're passionate about. Maybe that's Photoshop, editing videos, or building YouTube studios, for example. Like even just little stuff like that. Or even you're passionate about helping people land a certain job in a certain industry. What you would do is you would then start learning skills in that particular area and start testing them on yourself. You need to become your own guinea pig. You become your own guinea pig and you document yourself, guinea pigging yourself as well. For example, let's say you learn how to do, you buy a program off of like Udemy or whatever it is for like $25 or whatever it is, but it teaches you how to do really good cold emails. Well, then what you would do is just start talking about a skill that you've picked up from a program that you actually enrolled into, and it's taught you this skill, and this skill, which will be applicable to your business, and show them, how that's actually going to benefit your life over time and how that's then transformed you. And you know what, you actually start doing cold outreach yourself to try land clients, for example, and then you can start showing people, hey, look, it's actually this thing's actually working. So you learn a skill and you document your skill while you're learning it. You then test it on yourself, so you can lead by example. I call that guinea pig in it. Then what you do is, because it starts working for you, you then start testing it on other people. You can either do this for free or you can charge them. And then what you do is you create your own frameworks around that thing, and then you sell the frameworks. Let me give you an example. I personally did not know anything about sales, marketing, business in general, team building, advertising, that sort of stuff. So I actually documented myself, showing you guys how I'm planning on building an agency out. So I documented it, started learning all these skills. I tested them on myself, started landing clients. So I started leading by example. Then I started testing it on other people. I actually remember doing a coaching call for completely free, by the way. I remember this ages ago. I'll talk about that different story in a different on a different video. I then created my own frameworks. For example, the hybrid system. Everybody knows me for like the dude that talks about agency stuff, but the dude that does it with the Upwork platform, the hybrid system thing that he talks about all the time. So that's my own framework. I then sold the framework back to people that wanted to start their own agency and get that same transformation as I did, taking an agency from 0 to 10K per month. There you go. That's all it is. Now, in terms of making money with your personal brand, there's a couple of ways you can do this. If you're running an agency, then obviously you can do like a done for you service. Or even if you're doing a consulting program, it still would be classed as a done for you service, aka you do certain things for people. Normally you want to start with this one first. A done for you service. For example, if you're helping people with weight loss, then you would build their program for them. You would show them what to go and buy from the shop. You would be the person that gives them their workout routine, or even goes and works out with them if you're in close proximity. If not, you can do it in the online version, but it's you doing it. You're doing it for them. You're showing them what to buy from the shop in terms of their nutritional food they should be eating on a weekly basis. You're building their own routine, when they should wake up, when they should need to go to work, what they should be doing when they come back. You're building out their tracking sheets, their tracking systems for when they're sleeping, so they can get their health and routines on point. that sort of stuff. Then once you actually start getting experience with that, you start moving into one-to-one programs. One-to-one programs are what you call done with you. So it's like you and your client, now you do a bit of the work and the client does a bit of the work. So now you're getting a bit more, you're starting to free up time more. So you always start with done for you, then you switch it into like a one-to-one program, then you can do a group program, and then eventually you can go into online courses. I don't recommend going to online courses at all at the beginning, because you're just going to get called a scam. You're probably not going to have the right expertise, and it's actually more difficult to sell an online program, and you make less money when you sell online programs per customer, to be honest with you guys. Like, for example, if you sell a one-to-one program for $3,000 for example, and it's pretty much the same 6 weeks that you'd put in an online program, well, that online program or online course would be sold for like $997, for example. So you're making 3x less the money there. So always stick to this order and always do done for you services first. Now, the best place to start your personal brand, like I said, is by just asking yourself, what are you genuinely passionate about? Do you have any sort of life experience? Have you ever done some sort of transformation where you were stuck at one point and now you're in a much better position in your life? For example, I used to be completely broke. Now I'm actually making a lot of money from my agency. That was back then. Now I'm actually doing a lot of personal branding stuff. So now I'm actually helping people with, how you actually start your personal brand, going from 0 to 10K. So I'm teaching them the skills that they need to learn, just the entire journey, basically. A great thing guys should look into is a process or even a philosophy almost called Ikigai. Ikigai is basically like what you love to do, what the world needs, what you can be paid for, what you're good at. And the thing in the middle, it's almost like a Venn diagram. The thing in the middle is kind of like your ideal personal brand. So it's a mixture between what you love, what the world actually needs, the market needs, what you can be paid for. There's no good, doing something that you love and not being able to get paid for it. Like, it's all good and all talking about I don't even know what concept you can't get paid for, to be honest with you. It's actually hard to figure out what you can't get paid for, to be honest with you. Most people are willing to pay for pretty much anything these days. But long story short, so it's a good mixture between all of these, 4 things that actually brings you a really good personal brand and a really good strong transformation, really good strong offers as well. So what you want to do is, you find out what you're passionate about, what you actually you got experience in. If you haven't got experience or any skills, then go and get these skills. It doesn't take long to get skills, guys. I literally know people right on the internet right now that have taught themselves how to speed read, and then they offer like a speed reading program back to entrepreneurs that don't have much time. I'm not joking. If you actually go and read a book by Russell Brunson called Expert's Secret, even there's a guy in one of his programs, in Russell Brunson's programs, that basically says that he taught himself how to speed read. He became the fastest speed reader in the world. Obviously, you don't have to be that crazy with it. But he basically taught himself how to become a really good speed reader. And now he just helps other people speed read. So this doesn't even have to be how to make money online or anything like that. It could literally be helping other people land a job in a certain industry. Or there's other dudes that I've seen on the internet that are making like 300K per month in profit, right? In profit. And all they're doing is helping men overcome divorces, nasty divorces, without therapy, basically. How to basically get them on their feet. In fact, if we actually Google, so guys, here's a really quick example. I literally just typed in how to stop weed addiction, clicked on the very first video that I came across, as you can see, and then as you can see, this is basically just a glorified consulting business. It just seems like it's a recovery program that you can probably just enroll into. You have to pay, obviously, and the transformation is they help people quit weed. Let's actually go back and try find. So this guy right here is a really good example. This is a business I came across the other day when I was actually just working with some one-to-one students with their personal brand. I was on like a 3.5 hour coaching call with them, and I just pulled up this dude. Never experienced this guy before in my entire life, but as you can see, he's got a program called Life Beyond Cannabis. It's basically a cannabis program, and this program brings breath work and meditation tools and yoga and recovery techniques together with the power of community, live group coaching, recovery 2.0 meetings, and peer-to-peer support to help people overcome their weed addiction. And if you scroll down to where it says count me in, go down, as you can see, it's a $420 program, which is really smart of him to, $420 with the weed, well, the whole weed thing, which is really, really smart. But as you can see, it's a $420 program, and as you can see, he's getting 700 and something K views on this video right here. So even if just 1% clicks through of that, that's a lot of clicks, by the way. I think like 7,000 clicks, and then after that 7,000 clicks, like say 30% enroll into that. That's a lot of sales right there, is what I'm trying to say, guys, from one video. So as you can see, personal branding is one of the most craziest business models you can get into. I just want to give you a little example of why people are so stuck with this sort of thing, guys. This is nuts. This is how crazy this is, right? And this is a real example. There was a dude that messaged me on Instagram just the other day, and he was talking about his weed addiction and how he had a video game addiction and that he wanted to start SMA. So I was just sat there, and he was explaining to me how he's overcome his weed addiction and video game addiction. He's been able to take his life into a much better position. This guy's a young dude. He's addicted to weed, smoking weed, addicted to video games. I'm not going to put his name on blast or anything like that. And I told him that, like, yo, instead of starting an SMA, you've literally just sat there and told me and explained to me a really good business model that you've just basically skipped over. You just skipped over a very brilliant business idea that you can actually use, which is helping young entrepreneurs like yourself free themselves from crippling addictions such as weed and video game addictions. So all he would need to do is figure out how he and what steps he took in order to overcome his weed addiction and his video game addiction. And I said to him, do you know how many people right now that are probably either on my channel, Iman Gadi's channel, or just in the world in general that want to start businesses that have really negative addictions that are holding them back? People party too much. People can't even get off Netflix. People have got social media addictions. People got video game addictions, weed addictions. If you can come up with a program or just a process, a step-by-step process, transformation, where you're helping young entrepreneurs like yourself overcome their, negative addictions to get their life in a better place, their mind in a better place, their productivity and routines in a better place, you can make a lot more money from that than SMA ever would. And the reason for that is because it's less saturated. You'll become your own individual person. You start building up an actual proper brand and a proper asset over time. Whereas SMA is one of those business models where the more people get into it, the more saturated it's going to get. And the more difficult it's going to get to break into that. But when it comes to your own coaching business, because it's you and your own unique identity and personality, that can never be saturated. The reason for that is because you are your own person. There's never going to be two Montels, is what I'm trying to say. So I said to him, what you would need to do is figure out the steps you took to overcome your addiction, create the frameworks around, step-by-step frameworks that you actually was able to take yourself from being a weed addict to a video game addict to actually being a very productive young man that you are right now, thinking about, bettering your life. So a lot of people can't even do that. So you're at least 1 to 2 steps, or probably even a couple more steps than 99% of the people out there. Because most people can't even sit down and do work for 30 minutes without wanting to scroll on social media or play video games. It's nuts. The world's nuts right now. So I said that business right there is actually a much better business model than SMA ever will be, because it's actually solving a real problem. I'll give you another example. You can right now go start learning how to create the best TikToks in the game. Probably going to take you around 4 weeks tops to become one of the best in the world. I'm not joking. Like, if you go learn every single day how to create the best TikToks ever, you're taking a look at Alex Hormozi's TikToks, you're looking at all these top dudes' TikToks, and you figure out how to do all these little cool editing techniques. Most of them, by the way, are pretty just simple drag and drop like transition techniques that you can actually use using software like CapCut. If you become one of the best at like creating TikToks, and then you start documenting yourself, learning how to create TikToks and giving tips back on TikToks, you're probably going to build a very successful either agency or a coaching business. You can actually build a really good agency from that, by the way, and you'll have clients coming to you. And here are the best places to learn, where you can actually start stealing frameworks, start stealing ideas, start learning certain things. You can obviously use free YouTube videos. You can use courses, paid ones and free ones, books, forums, Facebook groups, or even just looking and seeing what other people, other gurus in your industry are doing, and you can do something similar but add on your own unique frameworks to it, guys. So guys, this honestly is one of the best business models I've ever come across. Not only that, but when it comes to building a personal brand, there's so many more ways you can make money. You can make money from providing a done for you service, like actually running a marketing agency and actually getting clients inbound that way. Or you could do coaching programs or some sort of like online program, for example. You could do affiliate marketing, where you're actually, this could be like a side income, by the way. Like, even when, let's say somebody enrolls into your program and the software that you use is ClickFunnels, for example, and you recommend using ClickFunnels to somebody, or something like Go High Level, then you can actually get paid double from one client. Because if they enroll into your program and then they have to use some sort of software like ClickFunnels, obviously make sure that whenever somebody's enrolling into your program, that you explain to them there's going to be other business costs as well. Don't hide that from them, obviously. But if there's other business costs involved like ClickFunnels, then you can actually tell them there's going to be ClickFunnels expenses. And when they enroll into your program, they may have just paid you, I don't know, $2,000, for example, and then you get them to set up their own ClickFunnels account, because you've already got the frameworks, the tools, the template for that. Basically, you give them your template. Now they're using ClickFunnels, so now you're actually making you know, that passive income from that affiliate marketing deal right there. You can also make money from your YouTube. You know, once your YouTube channel starts growing and whatnot, you can actually make money from Google itself. But guys, there's so many ways to actually monetize a personal brand. It's the best business model you can ever get into, and it helps pretty much every single business model out there. You can sell merch, you can sell services, you can sell programs, you can sell other people's software. Pretty much anything that you can think of is benefited with by having a personal brand. So if you guys do want my help, what I'm going to be doing, guys, I'm going to leave my link below. I'm going to link my link below in the description, or even the first comment in the comment section, and you can actually book in a call with me. And if building a personal brand and turning your name into a six-figure business is for you, then what we'll do is get on a call and we can actually just hash it out there, see if it's genuinely a good fit for you and how it will implement itself into your business and scale you from there, guys. Anyway, hope you've enjoyed today's video. Don't forget to drop a like, comment, subscribe, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.